Bring me one for each man. What's up? What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another Front Porch Turkey Talk. Today, it's gonna be all about the setups. Mr. Hunter Horton is gonna join us here on the front porch and tell us a little bit about an experience that he had last year. We're also gonna hop off the front porch, head into the woods, and give you some live action scenarios to show you good setups, bad setups, setups with decoys, setups not with decoys, different scenarios using shade and terrain to your advantage to ensure that you don't blow it when you got that long beard on a string coming to you. So sit back, relax, join us for another Front Porch Turkey Talk as we dive in to setups in the turkey woods. Hi Horton, jump in, tell us what happened to you last year, bud.
Well, as y'all know, last year was pretty much my first time hunting solo most of the year. And one of the early hunts that I did going into setup today was a bad setup. Started on top of a ridge, had a feeling, knew where they were, roosted at down in the bottom, struck up the call, he gobbled right back. I tried to close the distance. I moved down the hillside a pretty good ways, probably 100, 150 yards. It drops off in a bottom and then it comes back up just a little ridge and then it drops off back again. And he ended up being off in the big bottom. He closed the distance and he come up over that ridge that was between me and him, just to the other side of it, probably walked about 10, 15 yards down it, and when he didn't see what he liked, he just turned and went back across. I knew right then that I had set up too far off that ridge top. Had I moved in to close that distance, it would have been an easy shot. I got up after he had went back and I felt confident he wasn't going to talk to me anymore. I actually found a spot that I should have been sitting. So if I would have just moved up another 40, 50 yards, I could have closed that distance and it would have been a good shot. You know, that happens. That's how we learn. So hopefully y'all learned something here today, just like I did learning it today and last year.
All right, today we're gonna emulate's the right word, right?
Imitate.
Imitate. What does emulate mean?
I ain't got a clue.
So today we're gonna imitate basically good setups in the woods versus bad setup and some things to think about in your setups. Brandon is going to be the turkey. I'm gonna be the view from Hunter, who is going to be none other than the hunter. First setup is going to be what is considered a bad setup, something you don't want to do. You can see already one bad thing, two bad things already in Hunter's setup. For one, he's sitting in the sun, and for two, the tree he's set up on is not shoulder width, or at least something close to the width of his body. Not a good setup. You can see Brandon, who's the turkey. Brandon is about at, what do you say, Hunter? 70, 75 yards, and we can see the turkey can see us. He's got to come a good ways before Hunter, who is the hunter, can take a shot. Ideally, we want our shot, guys, to be 40 yards and under. We want a good, clean harvest. Setting up just over a hill or around a curve for when that turkey comes within sight, he's within gun range, and you can make a clean, successful harvest. So Brandon's gonna show you how far this turkey's got to come for the hunter to be able to take a good clean shot. Now, can this work? The only way I see this working is if you've got a decoy between you and that turkey set up at 35, 40 yards, which is basically taking the turkey's attention off of the hunter. So this is the turkey moving within range, and this is the result you're gonna get this kind of setup. As you can see, the turkey busted the hunter and is out. So as you can see, the turkey busted the hunter long before gun range. So setting up in a long straightaway where the turkey has plain eyesight of the caller / hunter, and also setting up in the sunlight on a smaller tree or something like that is a very bad setup. Now let's set up in a better setup to close that gap between you and the turkey and set up in the shade. So this is a better setup, guys. For one, you got more cover. Two, he's mostly shaded. See his face? The only thing that's really out of the shade is just right in here where his gun is. We're gonna try to get in this curve. So this is the whole point of this setup. We've dropped back. We don't have that long 70, 80, 100 yard straightaway. We've put a little bit of a curve in this logging road in between the turkey and the hunter to keep that curiosity and to play against the turkey's best defense, which is his eyes. So we're gonna try to get that turkey right down in that curve at about 30. That's more like 25, 30 yards, which is ideal. That's a nice, clean, easy harvest. All right, turkey, do your walk and your talk.
Showing the exact same setup. I'm walking up, This is where he was just a second ago. She's been yelping to me, so I know she's in this vicinity. The hen, that is. All right, I feel like she's close, but I just can't see her. I strut and I drum. Still don't see him.
Look at the spurs on that one.
Again, just talking about from when he twisted you from one side of that tree to the other on the good setup, you went from 65% in the sun to 10% in the sun. And it's just like, I mean, all these years I've turkey hunted, I've never really thought about it from a turkey's perspective. Right. And so seeing the difference in just that 10-degree rotation around that tree, you went from, I can see you real good, to even, I know where you're at, and it just camouflaged up a whole lot better that way. Mm-hmm. So it's a big difference from this view too. Right. So.
Second scenario is going to be in a field with no decoys. Brandon's going to be the turkey, we're going to be the hunter. We're going to walk you through this thing and show you how shade and terrain, just like in the woods or on the logging road, is going to be better for your success. If you've got a hill in between you and the turkey, and you know that that turkey has got to come to that hill basically to check you out, and that is within range. Full shade is not necessary, or it doesn't have to be, but this, you can see there's a little bit of shade, a little bit of sun. This breaks hunter up really well at that range that the turkey's gonna have to come over that hill. So this is basically a field setup that you don't have a decoy, all right? So you're gonna wanna make sure that you're putting some terrain that is gonna be to your benefit, meaning that the turkey is gonna have to crest the top of this hill, which is about 30, 35 yards to check out where the calling's coming from. And you're tucked back off in the edge of the woods in some nice cover and shade.
So again, this is the turkey's point of view.
So that's about true turkey house right there. He's coming out looking around. That's 30-yard shot all day long. Perfect setup for a non-decoy field setup, but you gotta have a little bit of terrain in between you and the turkey. You can't just set up in an open wide field and expect that gobbler to come to you. He's going to be looking for a hen. If he doesn't see a hen, more times than not, he's not coming. Setting up just over a hill, when that turkey comes within sight, he's within gun range, and you can make a clean, successful harvest. Third scenario is going to be setting up in a field, setting up your decoys, basically just demonstrating that if you give that gobbler something to look at like decoys, he's more than likely going to close the gap and come within gun range. A lot of times I only like to use a hen decoy. I personally only like to use a feeding hen or a breeding hen to ensure that I don't spook any longbeards or anything like that. It may be dealing with some territorial issues from jakes or other gobblers in the area. Hunter, let's set you up in this, on this pine right here. That works perfect. We're going to imitate basically an open field scenario to where the turkey can see, you know, an easy 100, 150 yards, 200 yards-ish. So we've got our hen set up at about 35 yards. Our hunter's gonna be doing soft calling, clucking and purring mainly, maybe some softer yelping, things like that, but mainly using his mouth call so that he does not have to make any movements. Once the turkey sees the decoy, his eyes are pretty much, and attention is off of the hunter. And typically, a lot of times they'll run to the decoy.
All right, so you got to understand, this is what Tom Turkey sees. This is all he's paying attention to, right? If she's on focus, that's his focus. That's what he's looking at. That's what he's paying attention to. If he's done out in the lane, he is fully committed by this point to coming to this decoy. I'll pan and show you where Horton is, right there, center frame. And with me looking at my camera, I literally cannot see him. from this view.
Fourth scenario is going to be setting up in the woods. Brandon's going to be the turkey. We're going to be the hunter. We're going to be calling. Brandon's going to be coming in from that point of view of the turkey, basically trying to find the hunter and show that how a good setup is very, very hard to pick out where that hunter is. Things you got to think about too when calling turkeys in the woods on your setup. See all that junk right there? Turkey's really not going to want to walk through that junk. That may push him down the hill or up the hill. So that's what you got to know as a turkey hunter to be ready for him to swing down or swing up. Hang on, let him come on in. All right, he's in a lot of junk right now. When he clears, yep, good move. When he clears that junk.
Not really. I thought y'all were on this tree.
That about wraps it up for this Front Porch Turkey Talk. We appreciate you tuning in. If you liked it, please give us a thumbs up, as that really helps us out. If you like the content on this channel, if you hadn't already, smash the subscribe button. We'll have a lot more to come on this channel, hunting episodes, turkey talks. Guys, stay tuned. We appreciate all your support. We'll see you next time for another Front Porch Turkey Talk. See you later, guys.
Harmony Game Calls, custom handmade game calls. You can find us on the web at www.harmonygamecalls.com.